Hey everybody, welcome back to Steve's Garage. You know me, I'm Steve, and here's the garage. Another beautiful day here in Western Mass. It is a little cloudy today, but it's April 1st, and that's no fooling. Yesterday was Easter. We had a wonderful day, a nice meal, and a lot of good family, and a lot of fun. Big Easter egg hunt, and unfortunately I'm too old to be in it, but it was a lot of fun. Anyway, had a great day. It was a beautiful day. It's good to see March gone. March did not come in like a lion and not like a lamb. It more came in like a lamb and not like a lion. We had rain all week and wind that just wouldn't quit until basically today's like the first windy or day we haven't had wind in over a week. So today we're doing something different. We're gonna do some woodwork, and on my channel we're not just doing car stuff. We're mixing a little everything up. So I'm gonna move the old car out. When we have a nice sunny day, we're going to take everybody for a ride and put you all in the car, take you for a ride. And but today we're just going to fire it up, put it outside, get our woodworking equipment set up, and we'll show you what we're working on today. All right? Hope everyone had a great Easter yesterday and you're enjoying yourselves. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for subscribing. We've got 68 new subscribers in the past couple of weeks. Couldn't be happier. A lot of great comments. A lot of guys watching the show that really appreciate it and appreciate what we do here. So thanks for coming back. And without any further ado, let's get this thing moved outside. Make sure you turn the gas on. Whoop. You gotta turn the battery on. For safety, we turn it off. Try it again. Now it's cloudy out and we're not expecting rain, hopefully, because we have no top on it. So let me get the tools set up and we'll show you our project for today. All right, so through the magic of camera, we've got the shop set up now for wood. And what I'm doing here is about 20 plus years ago, I built a a backboard for a bed for one of my godsons. And he's now 30 years old, getting married, and he lives out in Oregon. So his mother, of course, he's long gone, so she wants to reuse the room, and she's taking everything apart and had this headboard and said, I don't want to throw this thing out. It's beautiful wood. You made this thing years ago, and could you turn it into a bookshelf for my office? And so she's into massage therapy and Reiki and all this type of energy work, healing, and very good at it, very popular. So I took it from her house. I've had it in my shop for a couple of weeks, and like every project, it's there. You got to do it, but I'm one of these guys that it just keeps on burning in my brain until I get it done. I'm not going to stop thinking about it. So I came out a week ago. I smashed it into pieces, and these are just a few of the pieces I have left. That was made from 3/4 inch cabinet grade plywood and had a 2 1/4 inch frame around, and it was just 2 shelves the length of a twin bed, basically like 4 feet wide or whatever. So anyway, I smashed it apart and then ripped it all down into small pieces and made this piece here. Basically a couple of hours in the shop, another hour of sanding, and then I primed it, sanded it, and then 2 coats of paint. And I put I think of a white Swiss coffee made by Benjamin Moore. And it's a great white color because it's not stark white, which I always call hospital white. If you use straight out of the can white, it's too bright, too stark, and it's uncomfortable to be around. It's just too bright, and it's not good for, it's like being in, in a Walmart with that lighting they have. It's just, to me, it's uncomfortable. So it's just too bright white. So this has a little bit of tan in it, and they call it Swiss coffee. So let me get you a little closer. And what I'm doing is when I'm doing something like this, I want it to be an art piece. Everything I make, I want to make look good and different and something that, that people can look at and go, oh, where the hell did you get that? And like, well, it was custom made. And that's the difference between buying from the store and doing an art piece. So keeping in mind that I'm thinking about, well, she does massage therapy and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe I have to put something on here that's kind of cool, that might be relaxing. And when I'm, hanging around thinking about, well, what do I find to be a relaxing atmosphere? When I was a kid, I used to go to this pond down where we lived, and there were these cattails, and I used to sit there and watch these red-winged blackbirds that would land on those cattails, and they had the greatest call, and they would, just sing their song. I'd sit there daydreaming. I was a big daydreamer when I was a kid. That's why I didn't do so well in school, always staring out the window. So what we're going to do is make some cattails for this. And I've got walnut. You can see the tops of the walnut. This is maple here, and these are walnut, what will be the leaves. So we're going to take that, and I'm going to do one on each side. So I have enough material to do, and I'm going to sand them on my rotary sander, and then I'm going to rip them down on the table saw, and I'll have one to apply to each side of the cabinet. So let's go over here to the sander, and I'll get you set up to see what we're doing here. And get this camera kind of set. I'm going to move the light down here. Hope that makes it a little better. And let's get the parts. So I've already got 2 cattail pieces here, because as I told you, I'm going to make 4. So these are kind of going to be like hand sanded on here. So let's get this thing fired up and turn the oscillator on first. Fire it up. There we go. Also turning on my my dust collector. You can see we're coming out of here, going down into this dust collector here. Now what this does is that sander, what I'm calling now is, this is roughed in. It's taken all the heavy corners down that I wanted to take down, and now I'll sand it with a finished sander to get it where I really want it to be. All right, so hang on, I'm gonna pause for a second, reset up. I'm gonna show you how I do the leaf sections here. And this stick or board or whatever you want to call it now is going to be ripped. I'm going to take one off each side. So I'm going to round it so it just has a rounded effect, and you know, you don't want any sharp edges on there. We want it to look semi-natural, like nature a little bit, but just use your eye. You know, I use my eye all the time. I don't, a lot of times I don't take measurements of anything, just this is what it is. The way it comes out, you made it, so you're right. The rest of the world is wrong. Kind of like a sculpture in a way, you know. You're just working it, and they call it woodworking. You're working that wood down to what you want. You're taking all the excess off. I see the leaf in there. We just have to take everything that's not the leaf off. Just like all the great sculptors said, marble sculptors. look at a block of marble and say, how do you get that in? I said, well, I see it in there. I just have to take all the extra stuff off, you know? So that's it. A lot of dust on the camera now. So it's all rounded over, and then we'll just rip a piece off each side, and we'll use them opposite so we'll have the same leaf on both sides. Just if you're wondering about the dust, we collect the dust here, and I also have this machine up here, which has variable speed and remote control, and right now it's on high, but that takes all the dust out of this room. You work here all day and be probably 99% dust free. You're never dust free, but that's it. So let me get the sanders going. I'll be right back. All right. So I've got 220 sanding disc here. And for those of you that don't know, the higher the number, the smaller the grit. So if you have 100 grit, it's a lot rougher. 220, smoother. And you go up to 4,000, 5,000 grit. And that's what we use on cars. And that's that lesson for the day. And there's the finished piece right there. So you notice I was moving that sander quickly because if you go slow, you're gonna burn that wood down fast, even with 220 grit. So the big belt sander took all that excess off. That would all be just work that you have to keep on doing. So the whole theory behind having the proper tools is speed also. If you want to make money in woodworking, you got to be fast. It's all about speed, but accuracy too. And again, when I did these, it's in a rough form. It's not, if you get your micrometer out and look, that angle isn't 100% round, or curve, I should say, and that one isn't either. But that's the beauty of handmade. When people look at that, they know that's handmade. It's not pressed out by a machine or anything, and it doesn't have to be perfect. If you're striving for absolute perfection, you're in the wrong business. You'll never get things done. You will, you'll just lose money on every project, and you can't do that. If you want to be a woodworker, move your ass. That's what it's all about. All right, so I've got 3 more of these to sand. I'm not going to show you all that. What I will show you is we'll rip down these pieces here, or rip down 1 or 2 of them, show you what's going on there. And let me zoom in on that. Now, another thing for you young guys looking to get into this business or whatever, make sure my camera doesn't fade out here. You buy all this stuff online, and it's basically freaking junk. I don't care who you're buying it from. So make sure that your blades are sharp. If you're cheaping out and letting your blades go dull, you're only going to get hurt in the long run. Keep your fence clear of stuff. And again, sharp blades, new blades, don't cheap out. So that's all I can tell you. So if you noticed, I drew the wood to the blade and kept my hands back. Just again, safety. For a small piece of wood, you don't want to take any chances. Don't be running your hands past that blade, because you're only going to wind up in trouble. So let's take a look at this sucker. See what we got. So we could even as we nail that in, put a little bow in it if we wanted. But so there's approximate layout. and let me get my nail guns together and we'll get one of these put together. Be right back. All right, welcome back. So it's been about an hour. I've got all these pieces sanded down and spared you of an hour of that drudgery, but there it is. So I'm just taking and cleaning up the back edges where you have your rip, where it was against the fence. Might be able to see some burn lines there. We've got a lot of dust going on. There's some burn lines from the saw. So that's the back. And there's no need to do anything there except on these little edges here might have some little strands of wood. And you want to make sure those are cleaned up because you want nice clean edges on your work. These things here, just simply wrap the paper around and clean it up. Very simplistic. Again, woodworking is not hard. It is all measuring, having the proper tools. Make sure your tools are sharp. Always sharp, sharp, sharp. Because dull tools will cut you worse and faster than sharp tools because they're burning against the wood. You know, there's friction. So they're working hard against the wood while you're trying to push the wood in. If it's sharp, it's cutting right through quick and you're going in good there. So these ends I'm rounding down because you don't want places where people are going to catch their clothing on if they're rubbing up against it and it'll pull the work apart, possibly. But you want all soft edges. I can show you that there. It's hard to see. It's very, I don't know if it'll focus in on that or not. But I've rounded that over so it won't grab your shirt or something if you're walking by it. And these are all the little things you got to think about when you're doing woodwork for somebody. There's, it's there's 100 little things to think about that may affect the piece down the road. And one is not having any edges that can catch people's clothing, because that, number one, it'll ruin their day. And if it's one of their favorite things, then they'll be mad at you. Or it's going to grab that and break the tip off. And you don't want that. So again, just going over this stuff quick. No rhyme, no reason. Just making sure we're getting all the little cutting hairs off of there. And that's it. That's it. So we'll get you set up over here and get this thing laid out. See that? That's my brand new tripod. Okay. So my rag handy. Now this is the back, so I want the taller one in the back, just because I just feel that's the way it should be laid out. I don't know, maybe someone else would have the shorter one in front, but I think the taller one needs to go in back. And then at the tops of these, I took and I narrowed that down so it looks like it would be going into that reed. Any of this making sense? So before you nail anything down, get it laid out. And again, you're not married to any of that. I mean, if it works out, it works out. You can move it around as you go. Now that gives me approximate layout. We'll straighten these little details, like that's a little crooked in my eye, so before I nail it, I'll straighten those things up. So let's take our little now I think that is pretty cool. And to me, that resembles or reminds me of relaxation. And that's what her whole business is about, relaxation. So let's get the gun set up here. We're done with the power tools for now. Plug in our compressor, make sure it's on. And I've got a tiny, tiny gun here. You can see this. It shoots out nails that are about 1/2 inch long and the size of a needle, really. So we'll put a little bit of glue on here. We're not going to go crazy on the glue, like crazy glue. We put a little right down our center. I don't want to mess to clean up. Just going to make sure we got glue going top to bottom. Wipe the excess on your pants. Put that on there. And this little gun is the best thing that I ever got. Go all the way up to the tippity top of that little thing and have nails right in that sucker. I'm telling you something, that is awesome. In the old days, we glue and clamp this and then hope for the best. It wasn't always the case. This one in. Don't put a lot of pressure down when after you glue, because you don't want to push all your glue out. And one, you make a mess. And two, you won't have any holding power because your glue is now gone. And if you're careful with your gluing, you don't have a big mess to clean up. If you put too much glue down, we have a little bit there. We'll wipe that out. A little spit on the finger. Done. That's that. So all these little details come with time and practice. Years of doing it, 40 years of woodworking under my belt. Definitely long enough. Put that one in there. And again, we'll put the reeds on last. I'm going to put a little curve in that. Let me get so I put a little curve in this piece here. And finish nailing it. Glue this side up. See that? Just a tiny bead of glue down there. Don't wipe it off. Just knock the high tide down, high side, and I want to put this in here. We're going to nail the bottom, the top. I'm going to push that over just a little bit. And that glue, I've got a wet rag here. Take our excess off. Now I'll get these tops glued down. Put a little bigger bead on that. Eyeball that down. I think that's pretty good. Nail the bottom first, just in case you move it a little bit. Put a little glue in there. All right, do the same thing up here. What do you think? Look good? Does it look good? I'm telling you. Does it look good? I think I gotta go over a little bit. Just like that. Now we're going to take and we're going to sand this little edge down here. So there you have it. Some reeds on the side. We're going to do the other side exactly the same. And there's a bookshelf. And you know what you just made? You made an heirloom, something that will be around for years to come, something that can be passed down. I will sign the bottom, so we know that I made that, and I'll date it, the year and the month, and that's that. So here at Steve's Garage, we want to show you a little of everything that we do here. Again, I've been in arts and crafts forever, my whole entire life, and yesterday my nephew asked me, do you always feel like you have to be creating? And that answer is yes. I mean, there's not a minute of the day that goes by that I'm not thinking about one project or another. And it's a wonderful life. You know, that's an artist's life. And I hope if the artists that are watching and the people and the non-artists especially, if you have the will or the drive, or you think you can, you know, you want a project you want to do and you just have been holding back, just do it. The only way to learn is from repetition and practice. But I can't strive enough. Buy good tools if you're buying tools. Keep all your blades sharp. Wear protective glasses. Have some type of air, something to suck the dust out of the air, or at least wear a mask and run a fan out your garage door. But take care of yourself and enjoy. Just make something every day. Hey, thanks for coming back. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. Send this one to your friends who do woodworking. See what they think of my reeds and what the hell they call them, cattails on the side here. And maybe you can, in your mind, hear a little catbird singing in the wind there. All right, have a great day. Thanks, everybody.